Greetings. Today, this truth that I'm going to share with you gonna set you and your generation free, because this is a truth that holds the epigenetic of enlightenment, the epigenetic of awareness. And this awareness is going to bring you into the truth of knowing who you are. And that is why I want to speak to you concerning the Black Son of God. And when I say son, I'm speaking about S-U-N and also S-O-N. So I'm going to show you the Black Son, as in the S-U-N of God, and the Black S-O-N of God. Now, the very first thing I want you to do is to come to the realization that the Son, as in the S-U-N, it actually parallels the human imagination. And the human imagination parallels the Son. So in other words, your human experience upon this physical realm depends on the S-U-N, which is actually light. And for you to have this human experience, then your spirit body, which is also a light body, which is your soul, must incarnate into a S-O-N. So whether is it masculine or feminine, I'm using the word S-O-N so you would understand the human experience that I'm speaking about. Okay? And so this inner light must also be in alignment with this outer light. And that is where it would determine whether you are free or if you are in captivity. Now, what I'm going to show you is what's going to really explain why the Son of God, as in the S-O-N of God, was painted to you as a Caucasian, and what is the advantage that has been gained from such, and why many want to tell you that race has nothing to do with it. You see, most people fail to realize that it's an actual race. And in an actual race, you can either be ahead or you can be behind. So if you're behind, you're trailing from behind. Therefore, I can last you in the process if I'm ahead of you. And that is what's been going on from generation to generation to generation. And so there has always been a time of reckoning, a time when they would become the incarnation of a Black S-O-N of God, a black man who will experience the birth from the skull, the birth from above, which is the virgin birth. One who would also experience the death, the burial, and the resurrection. And the last thing he would experience is his physical death, which is the death on the cross. So everything has been handed to you actually in a backward way. And I'm here to reverse it and to show you that it all has to do with ancestral worship. Or how do you see your ancestors? What do you believe about your ancestors? And the ancestors just mean those who would have had this human experience before you and want to reincarnate and come back again at a higher level. Okay? And for that to happen, you need to actually channel those energy and be in touch or in contact with those energy concerning their philosophy. And that is why it's very important to have certain portrait pictures in your environment, because they carry certain energy, and those energy can definitely communicate with you. So a picture, a photograph means a lot. It is very powerful. And that is why every film and every picture Bible that you will have ever seen, that you'll all see the portrait and the picture of the white man and his white family, portraying themselves to be your God, to be your Savior and your Lord and your Master. But whenever there comes a true black son, as in a S-O-N, okay, the son of a black woman, the black woman and his son, whenever such a one is here, he will always bring a message to show you how you must be in touch with the inner and your outer self. So he must show you the inner son and the outer son. So he must show you the S-O-N and the S-U-N and how they are actually interconnected, and how you are out of alignment with the S-U-N whenever you believe in a white S-O-N. So that will become your devil, your curse, because it will take you out of alignment. But when you believe in a S-O-N that looks just like you, especially if he's here right now, and you can recognize that one who's here right now that is bringing the message of liberation to you, it will free you and your generation. So you can receive a generational curse or a generational blessing. Now, most of the time, when a black son of God is here on the scene, there's certain things that must be taking place all around the world. And such a one, he would have no form or no comeliness that you can look upon him and say, based on his outer appearance, that what he's saying, I'm going to accept him based on his outer appearance. Because he's not going to come to you as a man dressed in a jacket and tie. He's not going to come to you with a man well robed. He's not going to come to you to try to impress you with his outer appearance. He will come telling you the truth, and he would not give a fuck whether you want to accept or you want to reject, as long as he delivers the truth to you. Because this is not about begging and beseeching others to believe. This is you sowing a seed, and this is you showing the people the process of death, burial, and resurrection, whereby you're told, unless a corn of wheat falls in the ground and dies, it bringeth forth much fruit. So in order to bring forth more like yourself, there must be a death, a burial, and resurrection. And that is why all those eloquent black speakers and leaders, as the people see them, and all those who are purporting themselves, okay, if I'm using the right word there, to be leaders and masters, those of the Hebrew Israelites, those who speak about Kemetism, okay, Kemetic science, and the many, many more who present themselves before the people. Where is the experience that they have to share to the people, to show them that they are the firstborn from the dead, to show them that they are the first seed that falls in the ground and dies, then it must bring forth much fruit after its own kind. You see, my brother, my sister, this is why I'm very, very careful many a times to explain to you how important it is for you to understand the divine law of reproduction. That's very important. Because when I speak about epigenetics and so on, you have to understand the divine law of reproduction. You can see it. Okay, it's all around you. Every seed and every species must and will always reproduce after its kind. If you've been brought up by intellectualism, you can reproduce nothing but intellectualism. If you've been reproduced by true experience, that experience will live on and on and on. That is why the truth cannot die. That is why the true black Son of God or the true black Christ, he will always reincarnate on this planet and bring this truth, whether he's accepted or rejected, whether he's well dressed or he isn't well dressed, whether he's a well-spoken person or eloquent person or he's not an eloquent or well-spoken person. It doesn't matter. What I can guarantee you is that the people who always exist within that era and they accept that truth, they and their generation will be blessed. And those who reject and accept the white man to be their Lord and their God and their Master and their Savior, and believe in their picture and their portrait and put that picture in their home and carry that book in their home that has that name, and they read it and call upon that name, I can guarantee you they will always be under a curse. They will always be the barra. They will always be beneath. They will always be the tail and not the head. Because my brother, my sisters, let me show you simple. This is the head and this is the tail. The mind controls the body. So existence itself is based upon master and slave, because there's a law of polarity. Okay, now let me just take a little time to let you know that the rain is falling very, very heavy. So you might hear the sound of the rain on the outside, but I'm going to continue to teach you concerning master and slave. So your body always have to be in obedience to your mind. Whatever your mind tells your body to do, that is what your body will do. Okay, that's why everyone in this world, doesn't matter who you are, okay, you have to go into the toilet, okay, and take your clothes off to really take a shit. Okay, if not, you will shit on yourself. Okay, that's reality. And so all of that is to show us, as I said before, the law of polarity. So you always have to have the God and the devil, your positive self and your negative self. And there always have to be those who is pointing you to dwell in your negative self. In other words, they will point you to dwell in the realm of the five senses only, the animalistic realm, keeping you in the monkey mind, the chattering mind, the mind of intellectualism. That is why when I was sent to bring this message to humanity, I was warned about parrotism. Parrotism is you saying something that you would have heard others say before, but you have no experience of it yourself. And this is what the educational system is all about. This is what the political system is all about, and all the other systems, and the religious system. And all of these systems has been set up to keep you in the animalistic realm, to keep you under the mark of the beast, the control. Right, by your control as a beast is being controlled. That is why if you want to train a dog, okay, every time the dog listens or the dog obey, you reward the dog with something. It's the same how they're running the process. They're running like a human zoo, unless you awake to know who you are. So my brother, my sisters, let me get back to the point of the head and the tail, so you will understand me. Okay, there's an inner economy and there's an outer economy, and everyone wants to have the edge. Everyone wants to be ahead. And if you think carefully, you will want to be the brain. You will want to be the head. You want to be the one who will control. Okay, and so if you also think deeply, you will want to be the employer instead of the employee. Okay, it's like just recently I said in the schools they have what is referred to as a co-ready, and you see children just as pilots. And so what I'm saying, for me, why should my child want to be the pilot instead of owning the airline? I would rather to have my son saying that he will actually own an airline, okay, and he will hire pilots. Okay, so another thing I always say is that someone have to sweep the streets, someone have to take out the garbage and so on, like, you know, like the sanitation workers. But it doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be you, because why? We all have been given a choice. But I'm saying to you that there has been a programming that has been going on from generation to generation to generation, and those who are keepers of time, and when I say time, they understand certain process, okay? And because of these process, they know at a certain season and a certain time, there's certain intelligence that will be poured out on this planet, or certain experiences such as a time of a great awakening. And they know at that point in time that they can arise a black son of God, or a black Christ, a black man who have come to the top of the pyramid, one who would have vibrated beyond the skull and understand the eye above the pyramid. Because you come to understand the all-seeing eye of God, and know that he is God in flesh. And if the people would listen to such a one, would believe, and they would keep his portrait around, not to worship, not to bow down, not to believe that he's greater or higher than them, but as a representation of a respect to our ancestor who have been raised to a higher place of consciousness, to a place of self-realization, and him being in an era or time when you existed, you accept him as the firstborn. And that is what takes me back again to mention this again, that unless a corn, I wanted to get it, unless a corn of wheat falls in the ground and dies, it abideth alone. And so our people have been in the wilderness, been lost alone, because everyone is speaking outside of any inner mystical experience. I don't even want to call names, but there's so many of them. And so when a people is divided and they're not united, they cannot be strong. But if the very few would listen to me, if it's only one person that would believe what I'm saying, I know that is one family that will be blessed from generation to generation to generation to generation. Because deep within me, that black man that appeared to me, okay, and give me my commission, he will make sure that what I'm saying is being vindicated and authenticated to those who believe. Every experience that I would have had, it is always one who looks like me, who've come to me. And I'm saying to you, I'm calling on those powers to give you your every desire. And you see, these things in this world that many people look for, or look to for identity, and for society to accept them or believe them. To be honest with you, I'm not impressed with those things. Some people believe that they have to have a certain vehicle, or live in a certain house, or have certain possession upon the face of this earth. But I'm always mindful that we are only here on a vacation. I'm always mindful that these things are just some little toys for us to play with and enjoy a bit of the vacation here. I am always mindful of the things that are more important. That is why from a little boy growing up with tears in my eyes and beating my chest, I ask myself, who am I and who is God? And so my ambition all of my life was to know who am I and who is God. And I found the truth. That's what I'm saying. This truth that I'm sharing with you, This is the truth that will set you and your generation free. And the truth is that you are God, whether you believe or you do not believe. And whether you just say it and you never had any experience, the fact is, as long as you accept your message that have been sent to you, then you would, as long as you accept the message that have been sent to you, you will be blessed. So in life, there's always a blessing and a curse. And that is what is written in Deuteronomy 28. That is why it takes a true liberated one, a true Hebrew, one who been initiated, as I would have said before, into the mysteries. And the greatest mystery can never be known intellectually. It can only be known by experience. It takes one to come and bring this message to you. And I'm saying to you, those who have put you and your generation in a perpetual state of mental slavery, they've been looking for such a one. And many of you who have gotten caught up in nationality, many of you believe such a one will be born in great and mighty America, being intellectual and influential. You're looking for another Martin Luther, some looking for a Farrakhan, some looking for a Malcolm X, some looking for a Marcus Garvey. But many are not looking for a simple man. But I'm saying to you, simplicity is the key. That's why I'm pointing you always to look inwardly, to discover that your real identity is your divinity. My brother, my sisters, do not wait until someone has passed on or leave this realm to realize that he was sent to you, to realize that he is a son of God. And anyone who would declare themselves to be a son of God, they have to also declare themselves to be God the Father. Because when you come in to your Godhood, your son would appear before you and call you Father. And that is all of humanity recognizing you and calling you Father. Whether they accept it in this lifetime or another lifetime, you would have reached that pinnacle and they would have called you Father. It doesn't matter what is your skin color. It doesn't matter your geographical location. As I would have said before, your race. It doesn't matter. I am the Father. And only the Father can reveal the Son. And only the Son can reveal the Father. And whom he chose fit to reveal himself to. Well, he have revealed himself to me as me. And that is why, my brother, my sisters, this is not ego speaking. This is a man sharing his true experience. You can take it or you can leave it. It's your choice. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I want to thank you very much. And I want to say to you that I'm not going to wait until I die for someone to recognize who I am. I'm going to tell you plain and straight who I am and what is my work on this planet. And everything we do in this life, there is always a price to pay for standing up for what is right and standing up for the truth. And that is why I am willing and I'm ready to stand for this, that which I know is the truth. And I will always speak this truth till the day I die, because I will never lie about my experience. There's nothing I want in this world to ever come before you and lie to you. Never. Watch me, my brother, my sisters. $1 billion mean nothing to me. 10 billion, 100 billion, it means nothing to me, because I understand that I'm here only for a short time. And I gotta go and I gotta leave it, because this world is an illusionary world. I know it. That's why I know so well that the Jesus and Mary story, that virgin birth story, it is the greatest lie that has been ever fed to humanity. When they make you believe that it is literal and secular history, and they give you a white Mary and a white Jesus to keep you in stupidity. So my brother, my sisters, I'm not saying to burn your Bibles. I'm saying make sense of the Bible. See it esoterically. see it psychologically, and see it metaphysically. Let it make sense to you. And remember, always use reverse psychology. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I can go on and on and on. But I want to come to a close here. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, and it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram or you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. And if you feel strongly to support this work, I just want to remind you that there is a PayPal and the link is always down below. And also you can support by allowing the ads to play for at least a minute. Also, you can choose to be a part of my Patreon community and support this work continually as we work together for the upliftment and the advancement of all of humanity, pointing each and every one to look inwardly to discover that their identity is their divinity. Also, I have a course for $20. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And it's all about everything that I would have just said a while ago concerning you being in connection with your inner sun, your melanin sun, the sun that is within, being in touch with your soul. And let me say this, as a soul being expressed in a melanated body, and all of my experience have all been some melanated one coming to me and giving me my commission and helping me along the way. I have to bring my message this way. I definitely believe that I've been sent to raise up melanated people to come to their true self, their higher self. But this message of self-realization is for everyone. Okay, so let me make that clear. This message of self-realization is for everyone. But being expressed in a melanated body, I'm saying that melanated people must take note of that. And take note that I always say to you, those who have ever appeared to me in the spiritual world, in the spiritual realm, are always melanated ones. So let me say again that this Inner Sun Science and Technology is to teach you how to get into your scientific self and understand the technology of your physiology and use the rituals that are so needed concerning the different elements like earth, wind, water, fire, and you being the spirit. Operate these elements to the best of your ability to create your reality consciously, and never look at rituals as being spooky. Accept your science that was used by your ancestors and use it wisely for the upliftment and advancement of all of humanity, not to destroy humanity, not to control your fellow man. Okay, understand that. So I want to say to you, if you feel strongly led to listen to those videos, I definitely encourage you to do so. At this time, I just want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.